Hey, okay, so this is Edmund Bogen. Today we're going to be talking about making your AI into your true marketing assistant. Now, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. You might say, but Ed, we talk about this type of thing all the time. Yes, but this is a little bit different. I'm trying to take a reverse order look at how you work and what you do on a day-to-day basis to try and build your business. That is where AI comes into. We're going to talk about, first and foremost, starting the week with 15 minutes to really plan out what you could delegate to the AI, what you're going to be able to do with that AI as far as outsourcing the work itself, and then being able to say what kind of support are you going to need from either your team or your assistant. Taking the time to take a critical look at the work that you can outsource or automate is going to save you so much time, and you're about to take a look at it. But first, I got to let all the guests into the meeting. Here we go. Okay, we got some folks joining in now. All good. Really loving it. Getting everybody in here. So it's going to be good, good times. David's here. He's a trooper. Loving that. And we'll give everyone just a couple more minutes to get started. I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting is always recorded, and therefore it means don't say anything stupid or anything that your grandmother wouldn't want you uh, to say in public. So if you could appreciate that, I think that we're going to get along just fine. Again, I'm just trying to get this all together here. Sorry, folks, don't attempt to adjust your television set. This is just Ed trying to figure out how to use this. We're going to be talking about the whole using AI as your marketing assistant. And as I was thinking about before, you might say, well, we do a lot of topics on this. Yes, and indeed, the topic is extremely important. So once we get going here, we're going to talk about just what you're doing. I really would like it if you would participate in this meeting. In other words, if I'm the only talking head, it does get a little boring here. We all love to hear ourselves talk, but I know you don't always love to hear me talk. So what I'd like to do is have you um, participate and jump in just as we always do. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. Again, I'm trying to get everyone in, and sorry for the whole thing. So let's start it all out. Greg, how are you? Good to see you, buddy. Okay, he's got to unmute there. And Terry's here. Jonathan, we got the usual suspects here. We got the usual suspects here. Oh, Dirk in Denver. Loving Dirk. Good to see you, Dirk. And and Andy K. Okay, she just popped up. Very good stuff. Andy, great to see you. Andy, I look forward to getting together with you when you get down.
Yes.
We do need to chat about a variety of things. Okay, so how many of you think you're using AI pretty well right now? Before I pick on Greg, I want to give everyone an opportunity for this. How many of you think you're using AI right now? Oh, Andy just popped that hand right up. Andy, was that was that a yes, or was that something that you got to tell us?
Yeah. No, I think I'm using it well. I'm sure I could use it a lot better, but I am using it for like everything now, like on my social media, posts, hashtags. If I write an email, I put it in just to perfect it, make it a little more articulate. So, but I'm sure I know there's so much more I could be doing, but I feel like I am doing a lot.
Okay, well, have you been able to track at all how much time you're saving at this point?
Not tracking, but a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, again, I'm not trying to get you, okay? I'm not trying to go out and say, "Ha, she's not doing that." What I'm trying to just say is, if you're willing to be brave enough to raise your hands and admit it, a lot of people aren't actually doing it. By the way, I've added into the chat here today's workbook. It's chock full of suggestions and ideas. It's something for you to take along. I also have David who's with us today. David's working very hard on this type of thing. He's also a little tired, maybe a little under the weather today. But David, you're a trooper. I'm grateful that you came. So thank you very, very much. And Aton's not here, so let's like mock him this whole meeting. That'll basically be the theme that I could tease him. And they say it's not nice to do that when somebody's not around, but fuck it. Uh, Okay, so we got that. We got Michael here. We got Vivette that's joining us now. One other thing that I want to point out to all of you, if any of you would like to get together with me, there's two things that I want to put in. One, you could schedule that, and I'm going to put that into the chat here before we get started. I'll add that a couple of times. So if you want to get some time with me, if we haven't met in a long time, I really would like to see you. I'd like to talk with you about a variety of things. And also, if any of you, Johnny, I don't know if Johnny's here. Johnny is here. Okay, so I made this for Johnny in an AI artifact. It's getting better and better. It's called a mortgage calculator. So we put that together. If you want something branded for yourself, I'm willing to, put that up for you and just do a mortgage calculator or something similar. I really would love to get your feedback on this stuff. So in our 15 minutes, we could put it together and talk about it again. It's not completely branded the way Johnny wants it at this point, but it is getting better and better. So if any of you would like that, I will give it to you and host it for you for free. Woohoo! Okay, is that the exciting part? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, one other thing that I want to start out before we get into what you guys are doing. I want you to reverse engineer your work week. If you could start to reverse engineer and think backwards. Okay, Charlie Munger was famous for this. Anybody know who Charlie Munger is? Anyone? Okay, Mark, you want to mute yourself and tell everyone who Charlie Munger was?
I believe he was Warren Buffett's right-hand man. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, his big right hand man
Big
and
right
left
hand.
hand.
Really the unsung hero in many cases. And you might want to look up what Charlie Munger, he recently passed away, 90 something years old. Very, very smart man. One of the things that he said was, you need to think backwards. I think about Charlie all the time because I couldn't agree with him more. Think backwards, start with the end in mind. And what can you actually do to reverse engineer the job? There's nothing more important than that in real estate, and especially as it relates to AI. So what I'd like for all of you to consider is on Sunday evening, just schedule 15 minutes for yourself. If you do nothing else from this, you're going to find a real value to this and try and lay out all the things that you want to do for the week. Now, here's the kicker. When you do that, you're going to ask yourself two questions. One, how much of this can be automated? And if some of that can't be automated, how much of this can be outsourced? If I have a team, how interdependent can I be with the team? It's not an excuse not to work. I think my team will tell you I work pretty hard, but I'm also extremely interdependent on them. And I make that very, very clear as well. So I'd like you to think, if you don't have a team, you need to start to think about what you could do to change the work burden so that you could have some type of understanding of how far you can really go with the work. Here's another thing I want you to consider that when you start with that 15-minute thought of the week, I'd like you to set at least a casual goal of how many people you're going to get together with that week. Who are you going to get together with? How are you going to do it? And when you actually do, I want you to consider this. Break out your iPhone, not the second, but when you're doing it, when you're in the meeting. And when you've spoken to someone, find the usual suspects. Now, Dina's here, and we talk about this one person, they'll go nameless. But she said, my God, she's amazing. She keeps giving me leads. She keeps giving me, she's literally the gift that keeps on giving. Who has someone like that in your life? Who has someone in their life that Greg's like, don't, okay, Greg. Who? I think all of us have somebody like that in our life that we've had someone who's been really your advocate. But here's the thing. We don't do enough to market to that person. That's where AI could really come in. So your mission, when you find, we'll call those the super allies, is for you to dictate into your iPhone. I like to just pick up the iPhone and then talk to it. Open up a an email that you'd be able to send to yourself. The subject should be Ed said do this. Now, why am I making that? To make that the subject every time. Ed said do this. You're going to do that into this thing because when you look up at the end of the day, all the little notes that you sent for yourself, you could look it up by subject. You don't have to say Ed said do this, but if you could think of me in the process, that's great. I like to be in there somewhere. And from there, You put notes about each individual client. So Dina's favorite person, who's giving her lots of leads, she will call the person Brenda X. It's not, but Brenda X. Her birthday is on this date. Her favorite color is this. She loves that. She was able to introduce me to this person and that, whatever it might be. And you could build on that on a regular basis. You could build on that on an ongoing basis. And now you're building notes on that person. What are you going to do at the end of the day? You're going to take all of those emails that you sent to yourself, the ones that say, Ed said do this, you're going to look it up that way. You're going to copy the body of all of that, and you're going to put it into ChatGPT or Claude or one of these AIs, and you're going to put a very, very simple prompt in. Please summarize this, the messages that I had, and give me key takeaways. Please summarize this and give me key takeaways. You could work that any way you want. Who should I follow up with? Keep an actual note on this. And then you're going to take that note and keep it into something that you're going to call master notes. Now you're cooking with gas. Now you're actually building a database over people. And how much work have you done? You've done shit. You've done nothing. You've talked into something when you've been in a meeting, right? You haven't done all that much. It's been pretty easy for you to get this out there. Guys, I really expect all of you to try this. I really do. I've been kind of really, well, if you want to try it, try it. I really think it would be a very big disappointment if you didn't, because all of you, everything I just described is free. Everything I just described for you right now is something that you're going to be able to do for yourself, and you're going to be able to build the building blocks. I swear to God, after 1 month, you're going to be able to see how much farther ahead you are with so many people. And then you could realize that, wait a minute, why stop with just that? With all different notes and observations. You don't like working with a particular person? Remind yourself, I don't want to ever deal with a person like this again. And it goes back into the master notes. Now you're building a critical database of not only the people who are important to you, but about you and the way you work. It's so brilliant and yet so simple, and yet we don't do it. I'm just asking you to just, as you leave a meeting, try and go and take a critical look at what you're doing. Mark Lawrence, my favorite fat boy, go ahead. Why don't you unmute yourself and say howdy?
Hey everybody. So I think I mean I've been playing around the last month actually with using Chat GPT to for to-do list things like that. How many times does something come up in your mind and you forget about it? So I've been quickly talking to my guy on Chat GPT so he could accumulate a list. But listen, I'm gonna actually try after this meeting. I took a screenshot. I always do. That's how I remember who's on. I'm gonna actually just put the screenshot into Chat GPT and say, this was who was on Rain Nation this morning. You know, who should I follow up with or follow up with 2, 3 people, on it. It will probably, that way actually, because the screenshot will pick up the names, I believe, and Ed could probably confirm that.
Yes.
So if you were to search then for any of the names, so a lot of it I think is just data accumulation and how you use the data. I mean, that goes for all of our jobs. So the more data I think, you put in there and learn how to, utilize, the mechanisms that it offers to, to make the data useful are probably a good thing.
Sure. And thank you for that. And David is doing that right now, by the way. So what you are right that if you look at if you want to follow Mark's lead, take a look on the right-hand side of your screen and it says participants. And you might have to screenshot it multiple times by scrolling, but if you could screenshot that, if you don't know how to screenshot, well on a Mac, it's the command shift and number 4, and then you could take the mouse and run over it. I don't know what it is on the PC. Maybe my PC people could chime in. But you're then able to screenshot the names. You might have to scroll up from that and save more of the names. But boom, you now could build a list of everybody, put all the screenshots into ChatGPT and say, please subscribe, please transcribe on a grid for me all the people who are in this meeting. Now, it might not matter to you so much in this meeting. You could always call me and I'll be glad to help you. But think about all the Zoom meetings that you go into. Cherry, think about all the Element meetings that you go into where it would be really great to have the list of everyone. Nobody wants to give away that list. So it's great to have that kind of understanding. And Mark, you're a good friend and a smart guy, and you always point out some of the master, what should be the master of the obvious. But yes, it's a great thing to um, to be able to do. It's also great for you to think through what exactly will be your muse. Today, I know one of my muses, M-U-S-E-S, apostrophe. Dina will help me out with the spelling in a minute. But what I will do today, I've got my weekly email that goes out to everyone, I think you guys get it, and I would encourage you to take a look at some of the stuff. Is it perfect? Far from it. Dina points that out to me every week. But but I will say this, one of the things that I get out of it, I did an AI search for what was going on with the taxes, the historical tax rate in Palm Beach County, the historical tax rate of what people paid and what you would pay if you bought a home for, let's say, $1 million in 10 years ago. And now let's say it's worth $3 million. It's kind of realistic in my area. It's crazy. I mean, $3 million, $3 million, that's a lot of money, right? The guy that bought that house 10 years ago will be paying maybe $14,000 a year, 15,000 if he's homesteaded. And the person that buys that home today is paying $45,000 a year. And why? Because the tax system is working on the price that the appraised value at the time of sale. By breaking this down and putting this out for my viewership, for the people that are reading this, I mean, I'm hoping that you guys will rip it off and duplicate it. I really am. I'm hoping that you take my idea, Greg, and in Charleston, you put that together. Because if you could win for that, I will be the first one to cheer. I really will. Andy, you too. I want you to be able to take these things, and you can now take this data and people look at you as a really smart person. They look at you like, wow, you came up with this. I did this with the history of what went on in St. Andrews Country Club. Once again, I took all of the MLS data over the last 10 years and I made an interactive, I'll pull it up for you in a minute, an interactive chart that I see exactly who is engaging in it. I mean, guys, that's really huge. I can't stress that enough. It's really, really huge that you're able to know who is, let me see if I can pull this up here, who is reading your stuff and who is not. Where's this thing? I'm going to pull this up for you. I wanted to share what I had done. Um, Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. So you can take a peek here. You can take a peek here and take a look. Okay, so my logo didn't fit. This isn't the exact color. Dina's going to point that out. It's also a little bit off-centered. I get it. It's not perfect. I'm giving you permission to not be perfect. Does everyone see the screen? Nod wildly if you can. Okay, good. Florida's
Can you
property.
can you maximize it, Edmund?
You got it. Better? A little bit?
Yes. Yes.
No, Greg's not happy. Greg, what's wrong?
It's probably I just need to change my view on Zoom.
Okay, this is right now it's as good. Let me see if I could. How's that? A little bit better. Okay. So here, this is the Edmund Bogen team. My logo didn't fit there before. I didn't have a good one. I threw my logo into um, Google Gemini, and I said, please change the color a little bit and make it this particular size, and it did. I also put into that, I didn't have a picture of me looking like a nerd sitting doing my taxes. I took the standard picture of me and I said, take this picture of me and make it look as though I'm sitting and doing someone's taxes, and then do something on the screen that says all about your property. This is an AI image. Okay. I just want to show you just to what extent the AI goes into my marketing. Is it perfect? No. Somebody might say I look a little evil there. My wife told me that. She's right. I don't look like so great there, but it's working. Now, let's take a look at what we have here. I also created with this Edmund Bogen's report, Understanding Your Property Tax Realty in South Florida.
Reality.
Reality in South Florida. Thank you. Yeah. Interactive analysis of Palm Beach County two-tier system and its impact on luxury homes. Guess what? Spoiler alert, your people love this shit. They love it. They really do. I mean, I have people stopping me saying, my God, how much research did you put into all this? And then You could have a little chart that actually goes up to show what the revenue was brought in year after year. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves to see this type of thing. And here it is. I'm the guy that's associated with this brand with what's brought up. Calculate your property taxes. So now, again, if you had that $3 million home, and we could see here, I had this thing built in by an AI. Again, you want to talk with me about this, schedule the 15 minutes. We'll be able to go through it in greater detail. And of course, I put my little disclaimer in. And now I gave you that example, the longstanding owned since 2012, the annual tax on a $3 million home. This is the effective tax rate. This is protected by a 3% annual cap of property taxes. And this is the guy that buys that same home now. Look at the difference. People love to see that. Now, some people might say, but Ed, that's not going to help you sell a house. That person's going to say, wait a minute, when I buy a house, I'm going to know that. And you know what? Sometimes I do spend time talking people out of selling their houses. How could you do this? Why? Because I'm such a trusted guy. Because when they think about what the next deal should be, they come to me. And I'm seeing that over and over and over again. I want that for you. So this is just one example of what was produced almost entirely by AI. And it's something that, again, it goes beyond what I'm going to talk about in this meeting. It's not that tough. I could show you when we get together how to do it. But I seriously think that you ought to consider leaning in on these tools to be able to better the work that you do. One other thing, actually, let me just pull this back here. Sorry, guys. Don't attempt to adjust your television set. This is just Ed figuring out how to use his computer. Okay. And I'll make it bigger again for Greg. Um, there's sometimes too much stuff on your screen. Here, we'll go back to this guy. There's one other thing. So here, St. Andrews Country Club had a price increase, so I made a breaking news. This is a photograph I took. Again, I'm not terribly crazy about it, but it worked. And now their fee is going up. Click here to find out how to lock in and save $75,000. Guess what? A shitload of people clicked that. That's clickbaiting. That was something that I asked the AI to once again direct us into getting something that's going to be a hook. And then here's my weekly real estate report. Once again, this is done entirely by AI. And I could show you again individually. We will have a more nerdy meeting for those that want to have the patience to go through this. This is something that's not going to be, it takes a little bit of time to go about it. But I took all the local communities, and I'll get to you in just a second, Maxine. I took all the local communities, and again, people are just curious about this. And let me just see here. And my competition will never, ever, 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 ever do what I did. And neither will yours. Okay? You want to win? Do it. Don't even ask why. Just do it. Just figure it out, guys. I mean, we really these are the tools. I'm taking a much stronger stance today on all of this because a lot of you come to this and you like it, you might incorporate a couple things. I'm asking you to really go headlong into this. I'm asking you to dedicate some real time into this because it matters and because it works and because I'm making money from it and I know that you can as well. Kind overwhelming. Thank you. Thank you, Greg. So what else? We got questions so far. Oh, sorry. We had Maxine. Where did she go?
I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Can you introduce yourself to everyone, please?
Yes, my name is Maxine Till. I'm a licensed real estate agent in New York City. I specialize in the Bronx. Good morning to everyone. Edmund, the question that I had for you is that website, is it separate from your Edmund Bogen real estate website?
Yes.
Or is it a link? Oh, it's separate.
Well, hold on. Which one? The one with
The one that you just showed us, is that separate from your...
Okay, so now, as I said, I'm going to nerd out on all of you guys. There's there's a platform called GitHub. Does anyone know GitHub? Aside from David, who should know GitHub. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Anybody? Dirk, you know GitHub? No? Not? Okay, so GitHub is basically for developers. And one of the things, it's made by a little company called Microsoft. And I'm able to host all of my code, all the stuff that I put together on there. So Maxine, when we get together, because it sounds like you'd want one of those, I will just try and brand the mortgage calculator to look like what you want your brand to look like. And then it gets hosted on my GitHub. Yes, it's going to say something that doesn't say anything about your site. I could give you the code and you could talk to someone about putting it on your site, but I can make it look as close as possible to your brand. And I'll give it to you and host it myself. But it's not going to promote me, it would promote you. Did that make sense?
Yes, I think my question was more so, is it multiple links that people are going to when they search for when you're promoting this?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Okay, so sorry about that. So the weekly email that goes out is put together through a service called Constant Contact. Some of you might use MailChimp. There's a couple things. So I put that together with Constant Contact. Let's go through your budgets here. That's $15 a month. Okay, so you need to know there is some expense here, but it's not much. So it's $15 a month for Constant Contact. And also within Constant Contact, I'm making the images with AI. I'm hyperlinking to this service through GitHub. I mean, everything is just interconnected this way. And I'm just really psyched about it because it's really working for me. Because I literally have people stopping me in the clubhouse. And I know, I get it. I've got a real unfair advantage when it comes to farming. I did that by design. Sorry, not sorry. I did that by design. I moved into a place a long time ago and I'm setting myself up as the big shot here. You could do the same thing with wherever you might be, wealthy or not or otherwise. You could be able to be the one to deliver content. So while I want to focus on this as your marketing assistant, I want you to write this down. Think about content-based marketing. People want to people want to learn from you. People want to understand more about what you do. They will look at you and say, it's like what you really want is the shot. What percentage of people hire the first realtor that they interview? Does anyone want to just shout that out? What percentage, when they're listing a home, of people just interview one realtor and they take that one realtor? Anyone want to guess?
I think it's close to 70-80%.
Very good. 73.4% according to the National Association of Realtors. Don't believe me? Look it up. Okay, so that's what the National Association of Realtors. So it is so critical that we get into that meeting. It's so critical that we get into that meeting. I can't stress it enough. Because if that's the only thing you do, guess what? You've got a three-fourths, you've got a winning grade in middle school. Again, your mom will be mad because nobody wanted you to get a 73. But you will have a winning grade. If you can do that consistently, the problem is that so many of you are not coming up to bat. And that's what this is really all about, isn't it? Can't we get you up to bat? We got these tools right now, and we're not using them to the extent that we really can. And I think it's great that you're using ChatGPT as Google. I'm not saying that that's the wrong thing. I'm just saying that you could enjoy it so much more. If you take a look at the course book that we have, we could talk about the task. Let me go through some of the 15-minute planning things that you could do with it. Here's a prompt. Task list for AI marketing assistant. One, research local real estate trends for Bayside, Brooklyn, Yorba Linda, California. I'm trying to see who's here now. Denver, Colorado, wherever it might be. Two, find the recent tax government news affecting homeowners. Three, identify 5 to 7 weekend community events. Four, format everything for a newsletter in sections. And five, create an engaging subject line. If this doesn't work, try it on another AI. If it's too much information for them, maybe you're not paying for your AIs and it's only going to take too much. Do one at a time. I never said that this wasn't going to be work on your part. Okay, I want to be very clear, but I will tell you this. I will tell you that it is something that you need to start to embrace. Lisa said, I tried a few pieces with my logo in ChatGPT and it came out distorted. Okay, Lisa, please book a time with me. We will talk about exactly that and we will get together one-on-one. David, if you don't mind going back up and getting my Calendly link, I have it somewhere in the chat here. I've got too much on my screen. And you could put my Calendly link in. Just David, if you're hearing me, nod wildly. Maybe. Okay, he's not. It's kind of a lame wild, but okay. Thank you, David. Um, okay, Wednesday execution. You feed your task list to AI. You review and refine your content, and you could upload to your newsletter platform. This is stuff that I do. I mean, again, you may not want to do it this way. This is what I do, and it works. So rip it off and duplicate it if you want. But if you don't, and if you want to work on something else, let's talk about it. Let's talk about ways that you can do this. Um, Workshop review, relationship advantage toolkit, the three relationship dominating systems you'll master. Okay, system one, AI powered SOI nurturing. Systematically maintain deeper connections with more people. You know, that really is the thing. Knowing what I said before about Dina with her great relationship that keeps giving her leads, we've got to be able to find a way to single those people out. And I tell Dina whenever we're talking, like if you could get 20 of those people in your life, that's it. You're done. You don't need to market anymore. She'd be overwhelmed, as a matter of fact. This person gives her so many leads. I want you guys to figure that out and find a way to really nurture that relationship. AI is built for that. Okay. Um, uh, so what else? Referral generation to be able to systematically nurture that produces predictable annual revenue. You really do need to, again, take a critical look at the amount of time that you're putting into the work that you do. Now, I know this is unfortunately a job where you could be very, very willy-nilly. It could really be something that, well, I had lunch with these people, or, you feel as though that you're actually working. And indeed, you may be. But I'd love for you to be able to say that, make the distinction between work and true productivity. If you could truly be productive, that would be amazing. If you could truly try and get this out and figure out what you should cut out and what you should increase. I've always told you two things that I live by. One of them is the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of focused time where your phone is off. You're not going to listen to the dog, my wife, Dina, Mark, anybody. I'm just not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to do whatever I set out to do in that time. Um, and B, be able to identify what the top 80%, what the top 20% of the tasks are that's going to produce the 80% of the result. AI is built for all of this, guys. It really is. It's built for all of this. There's some great opportunity with all of that now. Questions so far? I'm talking too much. Anyone? I'm just seeing.
Edmund, I appreciate you showing us your faults, or what you find, what Dina finds to be the faults in what you do, because
Of which there's plenty. You can get a beer with Dina after.
Look at Dina's face here. My God, she's loving this.
Dina's hosting
I have a
brawl in the
list.
parking lot.
I keep a running list of Edmund's faults.
But I bring that up because is it Tom Ferry that says done is better than perfect? We could spend all of our time refining, fixing this, fixing that, when the idea that you've got the idea, get it out there. Okay, your logo wasn't perfect. Okay, but you need to keep tabs of the time that you spend on tasks. You can't just work on a newsletter all day, because then you've done nothing else. So done is better than perfect. Thank you, Edmund, for pointing that out.
Well, thank you. And thank you for being here.
And thank you, Dina, for calling Edmund on all of his faults. I'm sure his wife
Edmund
loves you for that.
is amazing. And he knows I'm always grateful for everything that he does for me and for our team. But I do have to say, I am somebody who will drive myself crazy going for perfect. And Edmund has helped me move away from that a little bit, because this relationship that Edmund's talking about, I actually have a couple of people who are really great that way. And I think about if I spent all my time making the most perfect something, rather than reaching out to this friend who, it's a little bit of work, but she's somebody who I'm friends with, who refers me a lot of business. I try and find common interests with her. And rather than making it work, we both happen to love tennis. We love going to tennis events and things like that. Well, as a big thank you, we have a huge tennis event here in Delray. I bought her and her husband tickets to go with me and my husband to this incredible event. And it's a a food and wine event with tennis matches and stuff. And I bought her these very expensive tickets to thank her for the referral. And she was very grateful, but it's also a great way to keep building that relationship. And I think that's so important to, again, I agree with Edmund, these relationships where she's referred me several really good buyers. And I love her as a person, and I love that she keeps referring me, these people. So,
Yeah.
it's you can mix work and business, work and play. So it's nice.
Well, and I think that we sometimes forget that you really can enjoy the process. Now, I got someone who came in here with a cat on their screen. Their hand is up. Their name is John Grateful, and I have no idea who John Grateful is. But John, unmute yourself and maybe introduce yourself.
Hey, Edmund, John DeCristo. I'm a broker, North and South, licensed in North and South Carolina. I'm in Charlotte, so most people think North Carolina, but I'm literally 2 miles from the South Carolina border, so that's my region.
Welcome.
And you guys don't want to see me this morning. That's why I have my cat up.
Okay.
So
Your cat looks kind of scary too, but okay. So what's going on? Talk to us.
so yeah, I'm fortunate that, my lead source or my client my client pipeline for listings, is pretty good right now. I have a nice flow of listings, but I don't know if it's same with you guys right now. Like this weekend, I had like one showing on 6 listings. So my question is, do you have an AI system for buyers? And I'm very, I love systems and internet leads. I've used Sync before. I really don't want to pay Sync $1,000 a month if we can use AI somehow. So Sync is old Commission Inc. So I don't mind internet leads coming in. I know it's only like a 2% return, but that's okay with me.
Okay. Well, A, I've never used nor do I know Sync. Am I the only one here who doesn't know what Sync is? Anyone? Okay. But I think that
Think
that,
is like Real Geeks or something. It just,
oh, got it. Okay.
they use Google AdWords and you just flow internet leads in. I pay for a little bit over 100 a month and you get a decent return, but I don't want to pay that money anymore. I'd like to see if we can use AI to replace them.
It's interesting. Are you saying that you're trying to get the buyers to look at your properties, or you're trying to use AI to get more buyers for anything? You just
I
want.
want to be able to, with the market the way it is, I feel like it's a buyer's market for sure right now. I'd like to be able to get up to bat, like you said. That was a good reminder. The whole goal is to get up to bat. So get up to bat with buyers and, get them in the car and tote them around and find some
Sure.
houses.
Okay, it's I'm glad that you're asking it because there is something that I will show you here. And again, for those that have seen it before, I'm going to go through this very, very quickly, but I think it's worth repeating that I started several years ago. This thing, it's called New to Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and the surrounding areas. It's a Facebook group. And this lady's AI. The content we really have not put, I could see that we haven't put content up in a while because my team's not really marketing ourselves as much through it. But I will stand by this as an interesting thing because in your area, in all of our areas, roughly every third or fourth thing you see on Facebook is an ad. Facebook favors stuff that comes in that will get more eyeballs out there. So when you say new to your area, um, it's something for it to see. Now, hopefully this thing will not take so long. Okay, so here we can see 34 minutes ago, somebody requested to come on to this. Now, what they're asking for when they register, and you could also see that I've got 10,000 members in this group, and I add about 5 or 6 new ones a day. One of the things that they fill out when they fill out this form is um, do they rent? Do they own? Or are they planning to buy? And would you give us your email address to be added to our newsletter? This person just said that they're a homeowner and that they can get the newsletter. Okay. I don't know what they're all about. I know that they joined Facebook 11 years ago. So, John, you could see that that's pretty important because a lot of the scam, if you saw that they joined a week ago, you could guess that it might not be a real person. It could be a bot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a homeowner. Here's someone 18 hours ago. I'm just trying to see if anyone put anything up that is of value. They're a renter. Okay. So here's somebody who's a renter. We have their email address. They joined Facebook 16 years ago. Maybe that person will convert to a buyer. Now I'm feeding people into me for free. Okay. Here we go. Look at that. Mazel tov. We got this Martin Freeman joined Facebook 18 years ago. Dina, you making note of this? Okay. Okay. Give us your email address, Martin at Shade Brigade, and he's planning on buying. Ding, 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 ding. You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So what do you
That's a
need?
lot of work though, Edmund.
It's not. Don't be a wimp. Come on. It's not that much work. You start the Facebook group, okay? It's going to be whatever content you want. You go to your AI and you have it research posts that should go out there. And every day you put a new post that might be engaging and interesting. Spoiler alert, people love the bad news too. So when there's somebody that's missing, some breaking news that's local, Facebook will do the work for you and put it out there. It is not a lot of work. I don't agree with your premise. I'm sorry. I think that
Okay.
what you need to do is just say to yourself, is it worth 15, 20 minutes a day? And if you have an assistant, perhaps that's something that you could put on to them. Are these the best leads? Absolutely not. My leads where I farm are much, much better. But, you know, I'll tell you that I have closed a couple deals this way, and I'm doing it fairly passively. So if anybody wants to, again, I put that out there with my timer. I have time next week to get together with you guys. So if you'd like to meet one on one and talk about that type of thing, I'm more than happy to do that. Does that help?
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Have you ever used like any type of system like let me go back to Sync. What it's like a Google, it's they use Google pay-per-click and it just, whoever whoever starts looking for a house, it flows into your website, into your pipeline. So, and it gives you literally like I love this system that you just showed me and I think it's definitely well worth the time, but I'm looking for, quicker results, 120 leads per month. If I pay Sync $1,000 a month, I'll get 120 leads. And 2% eventually throughout the year will convert. So 1,200 times 2% turns out to be a pretty good return.
Sure. Well, look, I mean, there's a variety of things, and as you come back to the meeting, are you subscribed now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm just Aton's not here, and I'm just off the thing. I keep reading you as John Grateful. Uh, so there's stuff in our archive that goes over things that we've done in the past, and we will continue to do that. One of the big things, I'm a big fan of using personalized social media. So if you want to create the dogs of your area on Instagram, and then when you walk your dog, stop people and take a picture of Pookie and put that on the Instagram account and then tag them. Now you're making friends with people that you never thought you'd make friends with. Again, a little bit hand to mouth. I get it. It might not be your thing. I'm just throwing stuff out there
Oh, that's cool.
that actually works. I created St. Andrew's Members, the country club that I belong to. My dad couldn't join that group. Dina couldn't join that group, and I adore Dina, and she's my work wife here. But she can't do it. Why? Because I'm so strict with the rules. There's 276 of the most important people in my world. They either live here and are members of the club, or they're the adult children of the people who live here. And when I make a post, I get an engagement of the 276 people. When I put up a story, I get about 80 people that I know are viewing it. 80 people out of 260. That ain't bad. That ain't bad that they're actually going there consistently and seeing this. When I put up stories about what's specific to the neighborhood, I've got a little series that I have, The Secrets of St. Andrews, that with these shishi golf cart places, you pull up to drop off your bags. Did you know that they will fill up your tires with air? Something in Florida in the hot summer we need to do fairly often. And people hate running off to the gas station and doing it, but you could pull up there. That was one of the best social media posts.
Oh,
Kind of
that's
like when
awesome.
Terry told everyone that the East River is an estuary, not really a river.
What?
Yeah, people
What?
love little tidbits of information. So if you want to leverage information that matters to people, you're going to have to decide for yourself whether you want to do it. I'm just saying that AI will make it that much easier. But John, if we could get together, definitely take me up on it, and and click the link. I've got some time next week, and I'd love to spend a little time chatting.
Okay, thanks, man.
Um,
Thanks for your time.
no, thank you. And this to anyone who's here, Andy K is in Florida. Dina, Dina knows about this already. Johnny, I will be speaking. I've got about 120 or to 150 people coming to a presentation that I'm doing um, on October 8th at 11 a.m. It's going to be an hour after this meeting. It's a Wednesday. So if you guys would like to come to that, if any of you happen to be in Boca at that time, please do let me know. Send me a direct message and I will have you do that. I'm also going to be speaking at several different offices, mostly Douglas Elliman offices throughout the country over the coming months. I'm actually working that out with some people. So if anybody has an interest in getting this or getting me as a speaker, that would be great. Uh, Karina said she wants to book time to speak. Karina, you're in Newport Beach, right? Hello?
No, Los Angeles, the South Bay.
South. Okay. I thought that didn't we meet in Newport at one point?
No, that
No.
was
Okay.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
that was somebody else. I'm cheating on you with. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. No, I just say that because we have a Anila here this morning who's in Newport. So I'm trying
No,
to get
Denise is Denise Kearns is Newport.
Deneen Kearns is in Newport. I know that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to help you all make friends here.
I think that I'm from LA, just in Beverly Hills, LA area. But the South Bay is just the Starling Beach area pocket south of LAX.
Okay. Very cool. Well, I will be in LA before the Douglas Elliman is having an event in Vegas, and I will be there the Thursday before. So if I could see you guys for lunch, I would love to do that. And that goes for you too, Kenny. Any of our California friends, I'll host lunch for all of us. Basically, if I know you long enough, I'll buy all of you lunch or hire you or something eventually. That's just kind of what happens here.
You're amazing. Ed, could I ask you a quick question?
Of course you can. So first, but you have to tell everyone who you are.
Oh, hi everyone. This is Anila Zaman. I am down in Newport Beach. Ed, you mentioned Claude AI.
Yes.
I've never played with it. I've only done ChatGPT. Is there a difference, and do you prefer one over the other?
The answer is yes, there's a difference. And the second answer to that is it depends upon the week. These things are evolving so quickly. I use Claude for something very different. Right now, this meeting is being recorded. So I will be putting this meeting into, we have it put out there so all of you could see the meeting. We want to be able to have you get that. If we weren't able to get it on the website, as we've had some technical issues, I'll put it on YouTube. We're avoiding that because people are paying for this content. I recognize that, and we are migrating everything over, but just bear with me while I'm trying to figure out our technology. But aside from that, aside from the meeting being recorded, we have a written transcript. It's about 96% accurate, word for word of what everyone said. And I will now take that written transcript, put it into Claude, and Claude will give me all the summaries that I want for this meeting. I'll add it to that knowledge base. So I've got a cumulative knowledge base of every meeting that we've ever had. I'll create social media posts with it. So if I want to make an AI script for AI Ed, my virtual avatar, to read to the world, it could be done based on this very conversation. I plan to write a book using this. Now that we have all this knowledge from all these great people coming in from all over the country, talking about what works, what doesn't work, we now have this accumulated knowledge base. And I find that Claude's interface is easier with that. But just a warning, it changes very fast. It really does. It's one of these things that will be, it's a moving target.
Okay, thank
You know,
you.
and that's part of why I want all of you to come on a fairly regular basis so that we could bring you up to speed. And when I get a great guy like Greg who says, "Hey Ed, did you try this?" Or John Grateful when he points out something that I didn't hear of, I don't, it's impossible for one person to keep up with everything. So I am hoping that all of you will be able to give me some of the tools that you use, and we will thoroughly research it and put it out for a future topic. That's the idea behind this. It's like a whole community, you know. Greg's going to lead the group hug at the end. It's going to be nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, God, we got another California. Go ahead, Kenny. Tell everyone who you are and where you are.
Hi guys, Kenny Bellini, just outside LA, mostly West Side properties in a little town I'm in called Pine Mountain Club. but I'm all over the place. Did a place just up in Marin County not long ago. But I just came back from a few trips. One was in Chicago. I saw some incredible technology on new properties, but I just also traveled to Arizona, New Mexico, and through there. One thing people would need to take a look up, he said property taxes. This is what the property insurance is. There was one home that was paying $40,000 a month for property insurance because of the forests and the house and so forth. And it was only several $1 million. It wasn't huge. So that's another thing to look into for that people probably want to know, especially down in Florida or wherever. But I find that something that everybody's looking at today, especially this little place where I've got a home is in the middle of the forest, right? And I've had a lot of clients lose homes in the Palisades, so that's been a real challenge. So just wanted to say hello. I've been on the road.
Well, welcome back. It's always great seeing you, and I hope to have you at lunch with Karina and Anila if you could make if all of you could make it again. I'd love to maybe meet
Yep.
in Santa Monica. There was a great little place that Kenny and
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
also who was with us? Didn't we have someone with us? It was Victor. And Victor,
Victor.
we had a
Yeah.
great lunch at that little place in Santa Monica that I like so much. So maybe we could all do that. I don't know, but you guys are great.
I'm
Um,
def
who was that?
Me, Anila. I said I would definitely do that when you come into town with the group of us.
Good. It'll be a bitchin' disco time. And of course,
I'm on my way to Santa Monica today for a few weeks. So,
okay. Well, very good. So you
but
guys, if you Uh, again, if anybody makes to Boca, love to see you there. I want you to download this thing. I want you to book time with me if you haven't done it. David, if you don't mind throwing that up just one more time into the chat. I know only 3 or 4 of you took time to do it so far, but I really would love to meet with each of you. Again, and if we need to, I'm a working agent just like you, so sometimes we have to shovel this around. Sorry, not sorry. Let's just first get something on the calendar. It's a lesson for you as well. A lot of you will say, well, I would give a date to the guy, but I didn't have my calendar handy. So what? Do you know how much easier it is to change a schedule than to get that person back? Get the meeting, just get it booked. That's what I'm doing right now. I may have to change it on you. Okay, but use this as a learning time here. It's so much easier to rebook than to get that person back. Oh yeah, we'll get together sometime. Never happens. You might as well toss your business card into the Grand Canyon. It ain't gonna work. Okay? You like that one, Dina? The Grand Canyon? Evil Knievel couldn't make that leap. I just made that leap. Okay, wants, needs, and brags. Now it's time in the meeting to talk about what you want, what you need, and what you want to brag about. I want to brag about the fact that Renat's had a perfect little baby here this whole meeting. Can we see the baby? Dina loves babies. Let's see the baby. You got to bring the baby a little close. Get a little closer. Come on, let's see the baby. That's a pretty cute baby, guys. Okay, so look, Dina doesn't know where the baby is. Dina is like, just come back to the baby. Bring the baby back over here. Renat, come on, come on, come on. Look at this. That's a cute little baby. Okay. So look at what you get from us. You get you get babies. You get real estate. You get all, who needs anyone when you have that? Okay, wants, needs, and brags. I told you I'm bragging about the baby here. I'm also bragging about the fact that a deal that Dina and I were working on very hard closed yesterday. We got another one, Baruch Hashem will close today. I hope so. And then we've got some other deals going on here. So that's my brag. Who's got a brag for us? It could be anything.
I
I
have a
have a
thank
deal
you.
closing today.
Who?
I have a deal closing today. God willing.
Okay, good for you. Want to tell us a little bit? Tell us who you are.
My name is Renat, and I recently moved from Canada to Florida. I live in Parkland, and I have a little 6 month old baby. Oh, this is my fourth baby.
Your fourth little baby. Okay.
The first little baby.
My
I have an
God, you got a lot of
8-year-old,
babies.
8-year-old, 6-year-old, 3-year-old, and 6 months old.
Isn't that fabulous?
So I've been doing real estate my whole life in Canada, but recently in Florida. And by the way, I took your advice and I opened Facebook groups, and I'm getting some action on those.
Good.
And I listed a condo, I sold it, and from that listing, I went door knocking, and I got a few more buyers. So I just bought somebody another unit.
Guys, I cheer for you and I cheer for your success. I had somebody who got a great couple leads out of people here and they never told me about it. And when I found out later, they were worried that I would want to get a kickback or some type of, it's not how I operate. I want to cheer for you. I really do. I know it might sound a little counterintuitive, but we made our deal. I'm very happy with the deal that I have with you. So if you win, please share. That would be doing me a big favor by telling me when you win, especially when you win here. But good for you. Thank you for not. You can bring the baby anytime. That's a very good baby, by the way. That baby didn't make
Thank you.
any noise. It's better than it's you know, sometimes better than Dina. Okay. Who else wants to need some brags? There was someone else who was speaking. Okay,
Was
Terry.
me. You know how shy I am. Um, I want to thank you, Edmund, from a referral that you gave me 2 years ago, who has come back around and we're doing some business again. So, Beatrice Ricari.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, we had two buildings that we were doing in Brooklyn, and one of them we was empty, so I was able to rent out all four of these very high-end, really nice units. And a lot of those people came here. It was towards the end of the pandemic, and they had moved into this. It was uniquely located almost in the central of Brownstone, Brooklyn. Two of the families were coming from out of town. Do they want to be in this neighborhood? So they signed a lease for 2 years with young children, and one of them has bought in the neighborhood. The other one is we are still looking. So it's the gift that keeps on giving, and we are now trying to rent out the one where the people have purchased in the neighborhood. So, and we got an offer today that was quite good. So yay. Thank you, Edmund. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you. And Beatrice, actually, she's a very interesting lady. She was on the LPGA tour. She's ladies golf, an extremely well successful one. You could Google her and take a look. And she, in fact, we met through a variety of ways, through a few different people. And totally forgot that I made that. I'm delighted that you were able to make some headway with her. Good for you. I'm really psyched. Who else? Anyone else? It doesn't have to be a real estate deal. It could be anything. You could just say, "Hey, I feel great today, Ed."
Hey, it's Maxine again.
Maxine.
I have a need. I went on like a local walk with people in my neighborhood and we kind of walked together instead of doing like a run club, which is not for me. Um, I connected with one of the ladies in the group and she is trying to break into the tech field, the tech world. And she has a certification called Scrum Master. I wanted to know if anyone here had any connections that they could probably like get her plugged in with or any insights that we can do because she's had a tough time trying to find employment in the tech world and those certifications they expire. So I said that I would just bring it up. I know you guys are very tech forward. So if anyone is like in the tech world when it comes to employment, if there's any tips that you can give me so that I can forward it on, that would be helpful.
Maxine, are you on your computer or on your phone?
I'm on my computer.
Can you put whatever information to contact you that you're comfortable with in the
Sure.
and
In the
and,
chat.
and
Yep,
social
will
media
do.
too, by the way. I think it's a great time to do that. And certainly give me a buzz and I'll get Scrum. It's interesting. Scrum is a terminology that came from rugby. They call it getting in the scrum, but it's been
Okay.
adopted by agile computing, agile software development. Um, where they talk about getting together in the scrum and to be able to work out so I think it's interesting and I'll have to think through and could certainly hook up with your friend on GitHub and see who I might be able to make her introduction to if that helps.
Perfect. Thank you.
One other thing I want everyone to think about next week. We're doing two meetings next week. It's going to be on Wednesday and Friday, Wednesday 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Friday, 12 p.m., which is 9 a.m. the California time. So Karina, Kenny, and our friends in Lisa, our friends on the West there, we're going to give you a little bit of a break. We're talking about language barriers. Now, I found something that's very interesting. In Florida, did you know that 42% of households have somebody in them that does not speak English as a native tongue? And more often than not, you've got people who are speaking exclusively Spanish, Portuguese, French, whatever the language might be. It's not where I've necessarily gone in my own marketing, but I've seen it done, and I'm trying to put together a great meeting for next week for those that want to do this, using AI as a means of breaking down the international barrier. Now, you've seen plenty of ads on Facebook in English, but have you seen any of the ads in different languages? Even if you are Spanish speaking, and you go to Spanish speaking sites and all this, you really don't see that many realtors advertising in Spanish, or you don't see that many posts that are out there. Again, argue with me otherwise, but there are means of being able to market to a variety of people using AI as breaking down that language barrier. We're going to tackle that next week. I think it's important enough to do it twice. So it's going to be next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then again on Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you guys can make it to one or both. And once again, if you haven't booked time with me, please, please do. Okay, we got one more minute here. Anyone else want to say anything before we go out into the world and bring real estate greatness to everyone?
Yes, I would love to find out what platform that gentleman was talking about that he's used Sync and he wants to wean out of, but I'm curious.
I'd love to learn about it too.
Yeah, if you can share it on the
Okay.
chat or
David, remind me to look it up and see if we could speak to that guy again about Sync. There's some platform called Sync. If you don't mind reminding me, that would be like you'd be a good guy. David, you're a real trooper.
thank you, David.
Poor guy's exhausted here. It's a cry similar to KV Core, Real Geeks, etc. Okay, so we got Alexander Parker, another great Californian. God, we got a lot of people in California today. Alex, you should join us for lunch too, by the way. So, I'm having my California lunch next month. Good. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Um, okay, so yeah, so let's get that information to Karina. Who else? Anyone? 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 Terry, you still here?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. When Terry's here and he says, "Oh yeah," it makes me look at all of you and say, "It really was good having all of you here today." I look forward to seeing all of you, not once but twice, next week for another exciting episode of
Rain
Oh,
Nation.
look at David got all excited about that too. Guys, it's great to see everyone. I'm going to stick around for a couple more minutes. If anyone has any specific AI questions, after that, I'm going to call Dina. And thank you, Kenny. You got that sync up there in the chat. Karina, I hope you see that URL. So
Thank you.
yeah, good.
Let's explore it.
Yeah, no, listen, and like I said, tell me the stuff that you're using. I don't know everything. I really don't. I pretend that I do sometimes, but
I was gonna say you act like you do.
Edmund,
yes, sir.
one that introduced me to subject
Say that again.
subject line dot.
Every time you say what you're about to say, you get cut off. Subject.
Subject com. Hey, I'm gonna put it in chat.
Put it in the chat because I know you're telling me something so significant. Subjectline.com. Okay, what about subjectline.com?
Are you the one that mentioned it?
No.
Did I get it from you? Okay.
No. No. What I said was
very cool tool. Very cool tool.
Yeah, you got a bad mic there. Okay, but so let me say what I think he was trying to say, that subjectline.com is a very cool tool and we should somehow check it out. You mind just emailing me your thoughts on it and I could highlight it for the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry that I don't want to cut you off. He's a good guy, despite his obvious shortcomings. I'm fucking with you. Okay, any other AI questions that you guys have? Any things that you problems that you want to bring up or anything that you want to try and run by me? We could definitely talk about that a little bit. Okay, guys, it's really great to see everyone. I hope that all of you have booked some time to get together. And Dina, I'm going to call you in a couple minutes and make it a great day. Take care.